And I wanted to find out what was really the issue, because the region I come from in the East, children that are of that age and at that level of education can read and write. So it was a bit shocking to find out about that. And so I decided to try an experiment. I got her some textbooks, then I followed her through for a month, and she started to improve. She started improving. She could now count, she could do some more complex arithmetics, and I was pleased. But I was still worried, because if she was in JSS2 and she was not that confident, I was wondering whether the situation was the same across all the secondary schools in the state. And so I went on to speak to other core members that were also teaching in different schools, and I found out that the situation was exactly the same. So I decided to come together with a group of my friends. There were 3 of us, me and 2 other people that were also serving in Jigawa at the time. The local governments were Yankwashi and Gumel, and then I was in Dusi, which is the capital. And then together we started the Jigawa Library Project. We started trying to get books so that we could create those libraries for the children, so that they will have access to more books that would enable them to be more proficient in reading and writing. So we reached out to a lot of organizations and successfully got book donations from Learn Africa. We got book donations from Rolling Heights, Farafina, Booksville World in Port Harcourt, and a couple of other publishers, to be fair. And after we did that, by the time we were done with service, we had successfully created 8 libraries. We got volunteers to create reading clubs so that the children would actually have the habit of reading. And then we left NYSC but we got a state award for the project and all. Then we left NYSC. So, but after I finished my NYSC, I had recently just started my writing and education consulting company called Flourish Consult at the time. I started speaking with other core members, and I realized that they were struggling to figure out what they wanted to do next. And they were also struggling to figure out, for those that wanted to do further studies, how they could even go about it. Like, what was the application process, as well as how they could position themselves for those global opportunities. Mind you, this was 2018 ending. I had not gotten a single fully funded scholarship at the time. I had not. So I felt like an imposter, because here I was trying to help people when I myself did not have the requisite experience to actually support them. So what did I do? I went to start meeting other people that had experience, to try to invite them to our communities so that they could share their knowledge with the large group of people that were yearning for these opportunities but had no way of figuring out how to apply for them. So the scholarship I did have at the time was the Nigerian Higher Education Foundation Scholarship, NHEF. Some of you might know it. So I was an NHEF scholar for 2017. And the first scholarship pack we did, which was like a webinar that was supposed to teach people how to apply for global opportunities like that, was in 2019. I invited my friends who are also NHEF scholars, and we had a total of 150 people that joined on the book camp. We did it for a week, and after we were done, 10 of them went on to win the NHEF scholarship. And for me, that was a eureka moment, because I realized that what we were doing was valuable. So I effectively created Flourish Opportunities Network separate from Flourish Consult. And then what I then did was I started actively trying to build a community around Flourish Opportunities Network, because I knew that the more people we had in the community, the more value we would be able to create as a whole. I knew that I couldn't do it just by myself. I didn't have the capacity to manage thousands of people that had inquiries, that were reaching out from all different parts of Nigeria. So I had a team of volunteers that were very excited about the vision, about what we're trying to do. And we started the scholarship hacks. We would host the webinars and we'll upload the videos on YouTube. Today we've done over 50 different scholarship hacks between 2019 and 2024. And today as well, we've started other initiatives beyond just the scholarship hacks that we host online. We started the Flourish Opportunities Network Undergraduate Scholarship Initiative that has raised over 2 million naira at the moment. And we have beneficiaries from UNILAG, beneficiaries from UNN, and beneficiaries from OOU which are all universities in Nigeria. And it gives me great joy because a lot of these initiatives were driven by volunteers, people who were not paid to do it, but they chose to do it because they saw the value and what it could do for the lives of other people. Today, we have over 60 universities in Nigeria that have Flourish Opportunities Network communities. And each of those ambassadors that lead their communities all do so on a volunteer basis. The FON ambassador for LAUTECH is here as well. The reason why collectives are so important is because when there's a common vision, people align to the common vision. It's not about money. It's about what can be achieved when people come together to make things happen. At the time I started Flourish Opportunities Network, I was in Enugu. I had not moved to Lagos. And by 2020, I applied for the Nigerian University of Technology and Management Scholarship, and I got selected. I was among the 60 scholars from across Africa that got selected for the fully funded scholarship. So I moved to Lagos for the program. I was there for like a year. So I got a postgraduate diploma in entrepreneurship and technology, and I met other people who are also young scholars, who are very brilliant, who had a lot of ideas. And then because of that network, I had access to more people who could also contribute to the community. So the community continued to increase and improve. And by 2022, I applied successfully for the Chevron Scholarship on the strength of all the work that we had done at Flourish Opportunities Network. Today, Flourish Opportunities Network not only has the Flourish Opportunities Network Undergraduate Initiative and the Scholarship Act, we also have our Ubuntu Young Leaders magazine. That you see right there is the second edition. We've done the first edition last year, and this is the second edition. And the first and the second edition were done exclusively by the members of the Flourish Opportunities Network undergraduate community. They did it all by themselves, from the design to reaching out to people that will contribute to the magazine, to reaching out to the people that we featured as the young leaders in Africa. They did it all by themselves. And for me, it shows the power of what young people can accomplish when they work together on their common vision. I've learned a lot of things in my very short period here on earth. And one of the things I've learned is that goodness is a cycle. Collectives are strengthened by actions that are geared towards a common vision. Provided people feel that the vision is what you're running with, they will still align to that single vision of trying to create value, of something that extends beyond yourself. Oftentimes, someone can create a vision to build a business or to maybe do a project, but the reason why they don't scale is because they are done by individuals with a single vision that impacts just themselves. When you create any vision that impacts the lives of other people, everywhere you go, you will find people that are willing to support you. The most profound thing I've learned in my life is that goodness is a cycle. People that receive goodness from others are usually more willing to give back goodness in return to the world. The entire wars and hatred that we see in the world today are driven by the same cycle. People have tribal hatred in some parts of Nigeria because that is their history, that is what they know. That's why there are agitations in some parts of Nigeria, because that is their lived experience. But if people knew peace, they knew support, they knew trade, then they will reciprocate what they know back to the world. The reason why people that are very brilliant, like people in LAUTECH, of course, the reason why people that are very brilliant, when they leave their campus and new people come in, those people will also be brilliant and is consistent. It's not because everybody is equally brilliant. It's because the people that are brilliant have a culture that enables brilliance. So when new people join the new environment, they are also immersed in the same culture that enables brilliance. And because that is their lived experience, that is also what they take out with them. Goodness is a cycle. If you're good to other people, and if you're willing to support other people, even when you have nothing direct to gain, the next person that is watching you would be also have the same willingness to do the same thing. The reason why we have so many discontent and issues is because the next person is always wondering, if I do this, if this person was in my position, would they be willing to do the same thing? So I challenge you today, join a collective, create a collective, and inspire others for positive social change. Thank you very much.